Hello, Mum. This story is not just for you. It's for so many other people who really don't understand why I'm so afraid of this or that. This picture when I was just 4 might not reveal very much to you. It's summertime in Tamarunui, and I'm not wearing the children's standard Roman sandals. Jandals were still a designer's dream. These are the special shoes that Medic said would help her remain upright and not roll left, right or centre. As I've grown older, no one has particularly noticed that invisible disability. Most of the time I walk around upright, but there are days when it is an uphill battle. Hence I decided that the lyrics penned by Cathy de Seton in 1954 sum up nicely: shake, rattle and roll. How the rattle works is putting together the story, Mum. I got rattled just thinking I'd visually show some of the shakes and the rolls. So instead you're going to have to imagine how it happens, and not think it is all the act of someone with a screw loose. Just getting up can be so hard to do, fiddling with bra hooks and stepping through the holes in the knickers, and my brain starts to say, how can she blame the knickers for getting her all in a tangle, when it's obvious you should just sit down and do it, not try to stand. We won't discuss breakfast because she just gets a cereal bar, unless she's going out and then she gets more. No problems with spoons, milk, plates or turning to go that results in splat on the floor. Writing a shopping list is not her forte, especially when she hurries, and then we get just a jumble of words, crossed out and even a few swear words. She has blamed the pen for writing that muddle, and then she stated it was the wonky ink. Couldn't possibly be a shake and a roll, or could it? Why is she talking to herself about balancing? Well, you see, when she was born, the maker got it a bit wrong. Her wheelbase, too short, her ankles somewhat weak. So now she's forever checking her shoes. But she goes down these steps steady but quick. Now, as an elder, they still wreak havoc. Last year it was a big problem, and early one day, just across from here, she fell on a bad dip, made a mess of her chin and other bibs and bobs. Unfortunately for her, the places she goes are mostly broken and can cause her woes. Of course there are good days, otherwise, what is the point? You should see the way she walks at times, proving she isn't drunk, just following a certain line of defence around all those woes. For her, these yellow dots and dashes do not help. They're there because for a disability she ain't got. But they ain't everywhere. Just over there she could stand, right in the middle, not on the side with the curve. But she has to observe downwards and then misses the buzzer that lets her walk smartly across the nice flat road. Such a nice cushionary shortcut, but not for her. Can be just a tiny hollow hidden or soft wet mush that can easily send her a roll and sometimes a fall. So getting a run is not on today, let alone a trip to the beach. She got all rattled about the rolls, that probably sent her some shakes, and added to that her laces are loose. Oh heck, another screw loose. Surely she will get it in the end. Of course she won't. But wouldn't it be nice if there was someone, maybe a minister at Parliament, who had a portfolio labelled "I care for paths" and places like that. Now she's using her cards, plastic or paper. She's got lots of cards. Mum, I'm going to show you now. They're light, and with a small shake they really don't work. Even though she tries her best, you'll soon see how they test. These are for getting funds. Push them in, not so fun. These you put under a light, recording your nose. That's numbers if you don't know that. These you give to someone else to clip, but giving them is not always so straight. There's often a shake and a roll. Finally, these are magic. You just hold them flat. One of them is just new and the driver said, "No, hold it flat. Don't shake. Anybody would think you were drunk." She's not drunk, you know. It's just a little shake. No rolling took place, but rattled she feels. So it's time for food and maybe a drink. But first she spies something else. It's a dress. Not any old dress. It's a long flowing gown, not quite to the floor. If only. And the brain thinks again. Oh, not that one again. She always wanted to wear something like that with really nice high heel shoes. Just in the memory she sees those nice shoes, which the brain attempts to diffuse, knowing that the wearing would cause more than a roll. There would be rattles as medics press the need for common sense and stupid professional words like that. Fortunately for everyone, she stops that musing and remembers that it is food that she needs and rushes headlong into a cafe just there. "Waitress, I'll start with coffee and I'll think about cake. I need the tallest mug you have." "I'm sorry, we don't do mugs. We've got these or these. Which do you prefer?" "Those aren't mugs. They're silly and trendy, weenie, profit-making stuff. What happened last year there were mugs?" Brain thinks and muses to Mum. I wonder why she didn't bring her keep cup. And before I could say it, "Brain, I do not like that cup. Plastic, and I feel like I'm on a picnic, not having coffee in a trendy place." Phew, she's not supposed to comment to me. Just objects. No, I'm not an object. I'm part of her. We leave there. She wanders about, being careful but rattled that things ain't right. And then, "Oh, you're going to have what? A roast with all the trimmings?" "No." The roast comes. It's on a lovely plate that should be fine. "Mum, it won't roll off." Before long, the roast is all chopped up to be eaten with a spoon. "Excuse me, waitress, would you bring me a spoon?" "A spoon for what?" "None of your bloody business." At about this time she starts losing the plot. I can tell you she's fair rattled. "Okay, roast, you're lovely, but your trimmings ain't. Bloody peas that won't stay on the fork nor in the spoon. The shakes have come and the peas start to roll, even jump to the floor. About 1 in 10 reach the opening where the food goes direct to the tum, rolling everywhere off the plate and even onto the floor. They're muddled now with gravy and the beef scraps. "Mum, it is both a shake and a roll, and I'm getting all rattled as well." Roast replies, "If you had got a bigger plate, you just had to ask. Good bloody thing you aren't that, waitress. Look at that pile of plates. I bet you would start to shake and then drop, and the boss would fire you on the spot before his profit disappears up in smoke. Keep quiet, brain." "It wasn't me, it was the roast. Mum, I'm getting so rattled with me and my brain that I think I'll go home for a nice cold beer in front of the box and muse on why you did not advise that growing up older would shake, rattle and roll."